My topic is dry socket. Before the starting the topic, let's brief about the dry socket. Dry socket is mostly come under the complication of the extraction, and it occur pain after the post operative extraction. Dry socket in university it asked as a short note, and in rare chances to be asked as a part of the long questions. The dry socket have the various type of names, synonyms, and it is important to remember these names. So I make a mnemonics for these names, like fall napas. It is a mixture of English and the Marathi, you can say like that, but we can remember this. Fall napas. For F for fibrinolytic alveolitis, and A for alveolar osteitis, localized osteitis, localized osteomyelitis, necrotic socket, alveolegia, postoperative alveolitis, alveolitis sicca dolorosa, and the septic socket. So guys, for the dry socket I made a flow chart, you can see like that, and we have covered all the points like definitions, one set duration, what is the sign and symptoms, what is the etiology, risk factors, pathogens, and the prophylactic management, and the non-dressing invention, and the surgical management. So if we made the flow chart like that, then we can remember easily what is the point. And when we read whole the book, after that these small topics are remember it's a little bit difficult. So if you made the flow chart, then it will get easy to remember. Let's talk about the definition. What is the definition? Definition is post-operative pain in and around the extraction site, which is increases in the severity at any time between the 1 to 3 days after the extraction, accompanied by the partial or the total disintegration blood clot within the alveolar socket with or without halitosis. What's that mean? How can remember with the definition? The definition: the post-operative pain is occur inside and outside of the socket, and which is increases are severe during the 1 to 2-3 days after the extraction. After that, extraction accompanied by partial or total disintegration of the blood clot. You can see there is a partial or total disintegration of the blood clot within the alveolar socket. And duration, mostly it occurs 1 to 3 days after the extraction, and its range is within 1 week in most of the cases. But during the first day it is rare because there is some antiplasmin is present into the socket, which is consumed by the plasma, and its duration is varies depend upon the various factors. Okay, let's talk about the sign and symptoms. Initially what happened when we extract the tooth and clot is formed, then this clot is seen like dirty gray color, but when it is disintegrated and after that it look like grayish yellow color, so we can differentiate. And guys, see that if here extraction is occur, then in some cases the temporal region, suppose it is a parietal layer region and it is a temporal layer, the temporal region, and in ear opposite side of the extraction site pain is occur. And rare cases trismus is occur, or the regional lymph node and unpleasant taste is occur. These are rare chances. Let's talk about the etiology. I tell you one story so you can relate it and you can remember the etiology. Patient is a woman her age is 23rd to 25th, between this, and she is married. She is a modern woman, so she has a habit of the smoking. Okay, you can think, and she is woman and 23rd. So at this age there is a many cases of the impacted tooth pericornitis, so you can remember this, and she is married, so there is a chances of the pregnancy, or she is taken oral contraceptive. So what happened, these 3 or 4 topics you can remember from this story. Okay, so she is come, we take it the history, we know that she has smoking habit. She is 23rd, so she has impacted tooth and pericornitis, and she suppose she have to extract the first molar, and in her third molar there is a pericornitis, and she has next 3 8 impacted. Okay, and she is married, she is taking oral contraceptive. So after that what happened, when we extract the tooth, because of pericornitis, her oral hygiene is not that much good, so there is a bacterial infection can also be prone to the after the extraction. And if we extract the tooth, it is a molar, it's a restorated tooth suppose, so there is a complication occur. So it not remove easily, it not extracted easily, so we got some difficulty, and because of difficulty it took some time, we got some difficulty, so there is a trauma is happen. You can say here trauma is happen. After that tooth is extracted, trauma is happened, tooth is extracted, so we thought ki some root piece are remain into the socket, so we use the curate and irrigate the socket, irrigating the socket. After doing these things, still there is a socket is remain. Okay, and after the socket is root is remain. So our etiology is what? This is the story, guys. So etiology is what? She has smoking habit, she is taking oral contraceptives, and 23rd to impacted tooth history, she have pericornitis, because of that her oral hygiene is not good, so oral microbacteria, especially Treponema denticola is involved, and trauma and difficulty is happened, and uske baad some curate and extra irrigation is done, so these can be caused, and after that some bony spicules or is remain, and physical dislodgement of the clot. Patient let's talk about the risk factor. For first time we remove the first molar, so we can proceed this story continue. Her extraction is difficult, so previous experiences her is not good, and we know that she has a impacted tooth, and her because of the pericornitis her oral hygiene is not good. We have, and we know that she is taking oral contraceptives, and she has the smoking habit. These 5 factors we know, these are the risk factors, and because of the pericornitis or enough oral hygiene is not maintained, so she has pericornitis and enough. Acute ulcerative gingivitis, and suppose when these tooth are extracted, 4/8 is extracted, in that situation what happen, there is a chances the bacteria, there is a chances because of the bacteria for happen the dry socket. These are the risk factor. Let's talk about the pathogenesis, guys. What is the pathogenesis? Think that, guys, during the extraction trauma is happen. Okay, after the trauma there is some inflammation is occur. Because of this inflammation, tissue activator is come and it secrete the plasminogen. This plasminogen is converted into the plasmin and is caused what it will do, it will dissolve the clot. These plasminogen are reduce or disintegration of the fibrin, and these are formation of kinin. So guys, this is the pathogenesis, and I will explain about the tissue activator. There is a different type of the tissue activator like plasmin activators, and these are direct or indirect. Indirect, there is a intrinsic pathway and the extrinsic pathway, and in intrinsic pathway there is a urokinase and the 12 factor, or extrinsic the endothelial plasmin activator and tissue plasminogen activators. And indirect, streptokinase or the staphylokinase is involved with the plasminogen. So these are the plasminogen activators. Let's talk about the prophylactic management. The prophylactic management is two types: non-pharmacological and the pharmacological. Let's talk about first the non-pharmacological. When patient is come, what we'll do? We will take a proper history, and after that we will take a radiograph. So first you have to take a proper radiograph, and after that plan the whole surgical process and with the good principles, and take care about the patient got a minimum trauma or not, or after the extraction make sure there is some blood clot is remain into the socket, and preoperative oral hygiene told about the patient for of the oral hygiene, and before the extraction do scaling and maintain her oral habit. If she has the smoking habit, so tell her about stop her or him stop the habit, and if she is taking oral contraceptive, then surgery is performed between 23rd to 28 days of the menstrual cycle. So guys, I told you one story. Behalf of that you can remember these things. So oral contraceptives, smoking point, and pre-operative oral hygiene, minimum trauma, good radiograph, these are comes under the non-pharmacological. And what is the pharmacological? Take an antibacterial, antiseptic agent, and the antifibrinolytic SAID agent, and उसके बाद Optodent dressing, clot supporting. These are pharmacological. And let's talk about the management. There is a non-dressing intervention management. In what happen? Sometime what happen during removal of the any suture, dry socket can also be occur, and irrigate the socket. When we irrigating the socket, then clot are disintegrate. So irrigation of the socket is not can be done, and careful suction only into the mouth, not into the socket, and don't use curator into the socket. And potent oral analgesia gives analgesic medicine if it no, for irrigation of the socket, for irrigation of the socket there we can use 12% of the warm chlorhexidine and the ZOE paste on the topically can apply in the intraalveolar, which can protect from the secondary infection. Topical steroid we can use, which is decrease into the inflammation, and teach about the patient about home irrigation. Give the plastic syringe with the curette tip for the home irrigation, and instruct about when socket is healed, don't use these method like home irrigation. Give proper instruction. In surgical management, what we can do, give block anesthesia, and what the sharp margins are present, round it with the help of the curette, and after that the attached gingival margin, which is a gingival margin scar is present, detach in foreign body, remove it, and medication is given. These are the surgical methods, and this is the guys flow chart. If you want, you can make, and this point are covered in this topic. I hope you like the video.